Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's this time of the week that we like to say,
Welcome to Eejits of the World!
With you,
Glenn Wool, and you,
Andrew Maxwell. And what a cornucopia of clowns we have for you this week. We have the Eejits of elections.
we have the Eejits of politicians,
We have the Eejits of tourism.
and we have the Eejits of tourist destinations.
Oh, yes. So strap yourselves in, fill in
ready.
your forms, get your vaccinations.
Put two toothpicks in your eyes and hold them open. Like, don't spook them in, but like that. You know how to do it. It'll help.
So, Mr. Glenn,
Yes.
do you have an opening story? What Eejits do you have for me?
Well, there's no other thing that we could really open with other than the British elections. Holy smokes!
Woo! What a weird country that we have chosen to live and pay tax in for all these years. Man.
Yeah, I've never felt better about my tax bill than watching these people. Pirouette around.
I had to say, you know, it's not the BBC. We don't have to pretend to be impartial. Like, I have to say, election night, I chuckled myself to sleep and I chortled myself awake the next day. I literally woke up going, oh man alive. Such a weird election.
I know.
So many weird things.
Well, I've never seen the third place be so happy. Like, Davey, somebody has to look into him. And if you're in North America, you don't know where we're talking about. The third biggest party now, and they've come in and out, but they're back to third. And oh my God, if you would think that they have just taken over the world by the excitement in there, like, that's right, third place now, we have a voice.
That's right. Bronze is still a metal, you know. Yeah. I mean, everybody talks about gold, everybody talks about silver, but they were never an age in history.
No.
Yeah.
And the leader, the whole election gave
so
off really strong vibes of a guy who's gone through a particularly messy divorce and got into coke.
Yeah, and yet hadn't. So
No.
we know what's going on. So for those of you not from democratic countries, here's how it usually works. There's two parties, and they lay out their manifestos, and they try and convince the general public that they're the ones that should run the country. None of that happened.
No.
No. Ed Davey, he just went on holidays for a month.
Yeah.
Every day he did a different fun tourism attraction. He went jet skiing.
He fell off too.
Yeah, he fell off paddle boards. He went down log flumes. He was on flying foxes. But what he wasn't doing is campaigning as a politician. And you know what? I feel sorry for Ed Davey now, because all that fun has to come to an end. Because guess what? Loads of British people went, that's our guy right there. I like a politician that doesn't talk politics in any way, but loves getting his shoes off and bouncing on a bouncy castle. And you know what? But actually, in the case of Ed Davey, the fun never has to end. Do you know why?
Why?
Because his constituency is the constituency that has Chessington World of Adventures in it.
Well, there you go. Just move the offices straight there.
One of Britain's premier fake Disneylands.
Yeah. And that's how you know Rishi Sunak will never come back, because you have to be this tall to get on.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Rishi Sunak was, until very recently, the Prime Minister of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Sunak, it wasn't like he was a bad campaigner, which he definitely was, but it's like he's bad at meeting humans. It's prior to this, it felt like we talked about this at the start of the election, and then we didn't talk about him for weeks because it was so pathetic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, with him, it feels like he's one of those guys from a Disney movie that's had a wish granted. And he gets to be the Prime Minister. And as long as his monkey keeps the magic amulet, then he can continue doing it. But he lost at gambling. I didn't watch the whole movie, but...
Yes. He was outwitted by a Jafar.
Yeah.
By the name of anybody. It's just literally anybody could have beaten him. The saddest, weirdest part in Rishi Sunak's campaign came near the end, where he was on a live daytime TV show. Usual stuff, bright couches, cookery programmes, that sort of thing.
Really, really smiley people.
Yeah, human interest, whatnot. And the other guest on at the same time as him was an OnlyFans model who holds the record as the most tattooed mum in Britain. She was in a bikini on the couch being interviewed by the fake husband and wife duo that is all daytime TV shows.
Just waiting for the scandal that breaks them up. You can actually get odds on what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with dog necrophilia.
Again. Ended too many great British broadcasting careers, dog necrophilia. But she's there, she is literally, except for this part of her face.
Yeah.
Literally the inner part of her noggin. Other than that, she is tattooed completely. Yeah. And she's there talking about this in her bikini, talking about that I've even got downstairs done. And she's talking on national TV at 11 in the morning about how she's had her flippity flaps, her flaps tattooed. And while this is happening, in the background is the Prime Minister. Look, he couldn't look more pathetic in that moment if he had had a ball gag in his mouth and had his cock,
and he also
covered in plastic.
He managed to find the time to stick around to the end of that. This isn't the D-Day commemoration. I gotta take off. But the most tattooed mom in Britain's around. No, just hold the car. I'm gonna stick around.
Let's find out who she's voting for. Oh, Rishi. Just take the lamp and go back to the car.
What he should have done is when she said she's got downstairs tattooed, just mutter to himself, "Me too."
The servants' quarters. Good Lord. The servants' quarters tattooed.
Yeah. I didn't think you were allowed to do that anymore. You just had to use pay stubs to prove you owned them. But yes. You can actually tattoo them.
Good Lord. Well, that'll be easier on their payday. You, ring face, come forward. Come forward for your shiny shilling.
Just using a magnet. Yes, if I pierce them with a strong enough metal, I don't have to ring my bell anymore. I just turn my magnet on. Make sure you leave the door open, though, because they hit it pretty hard if they can.
Yes, once you've tattooed the butler's nipples, when you got a couple of horse brasses out of a country pub swinging from your butler's tits. They're so mental. It's so weird. And then it was his turn to speak. I don't know whether he went first. He must have, I don't know. But in his interview, this is one of these soft soap questions that politicians always get asked all over the world. What's your favourite food?
Oh, wow.
You gotta say, in America, it's just a cheeseburger. God damn it, I love cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Right? That's all you gotta say. Well, call me old-fashioned, but I love a cheeseburger. And everybody else, well, I can vote for the cheeseburger guy. Right? It's the same the world over.
Yeah.
Right? He's, again, for those who don't know, Rishi Sunak is second generation British Indian. Right? The national dish in Britain is curry.
Yeah.
Oh, Brits love a Vindaloo. It's one of their most famous football songs is in praise of football and Vindaloo. It's his turn. Live TV, in front of the nation. What's your favourite food? Sandwiches. I mean, it's literally... like, you know, even if you just plugged a robot in for 10 minutes and got it to wander around, wander down to a Morrison's and back, it would know more about England. Sandwiches. What? So sad. So...
And
no,
he's
awful.
one of the richest men in Britain, too. Like,
Yeah. Famously,
not-
he's the first ever British Prime Minister that's richer than the monarch.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not even like, well, he's beholden to his abilities. He's been saying that to some of the finest chefs in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Rishi, what would you like to dine on? Sandwiches. Sandwiches.
Just sandwiches, please. Do you know, we have these delicious langoustines. We could make something. One.
You put in the sandwich?
Well, I suppose if we take the claws off,
Put in the sandwich.
can I have a langoustine sandwich? Like literally, just never met humans.
No.
So odd. So odd. But like just that imagery of the most tattooed mum in Britain in her bikini, the OnlyFans
Yeah.
model, and the Prime Minister in the background. Like, his big campaign must have fucking hated him. Like,
Oh, there
who
was
let him do that?
There was nobody left in the office by the time that had rolled around.
Oh, no. That's
He made that appointment himself.
Guys, I've got the breakthrough. Well, they've said she's willing to share her time with me. How good's that, guys? And, you know, if I can win her over, maybe I can win over all the tattooed OnlyFans models.
Yeah, yeah. But get her to put a little poster up in her, in her recording studio/room.
So much madness. And then the previous Prime Minister, Liz Truss.
Lizard Trust Fund, if you're going to go with her Christian name.
Makes sense. Liz Truss holds the record as being the shortest ever British Prime Minister.
Oh, surely.
She lasted a month. 1 month. And you go back into history, like some British Prime Ministers, like, you know, got kicked in the head by a horse and died. And I mean, some of them fell off balconies chasing a bottle of claret through the air. You know what I mean? But yeah, Liz Truss. So, when she got beaten, unbelievably, she lost her seat. And not only that, she's the first British politician that had to be slow hand clapped and booed onto the stage.
Yeah.
She wouldn't get on the stage, but they can't in Britain. They've got to have the person who's reading out the results and all the candidates standing behind them. And she refused to get on, so everybody had to slow hand clap her on. Like,
Yeah. Well, who told her, too? Because she didn't want to go up because she hadn't won.
correct?
But, like, why are they telling her? Like, you know, get up there. Who knows?
Yeah. We don't know. I mean, literally, yeah. I think her vote dropped by like something like 15,000 people. Like,
Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah.
madness. She didn't actually have any kind of particularly weird. She had there is a fringe political movement in Britain called the Monster Raving Loony Party, where people dress up in fancy costumes and a top hat. There was a guy called Screaming Lord Sutch.
Yeah.
Founded the party, I think, in the 70s. So he was the original weird dude. But now, in any major, like, what's going to be a high-profile seat in any British election, there's always, just weirdos. I mean, you know, and I call them weirdos. They're not eccentrics, because to run for a British election, I think your deposit's like $1.5 grand, $2 grand or something. It's not free. You can't just go, I want to be politicsy man.
Right.
You're going to put money up. There's Jacob Rees-Mogg, who looks like, well, I guess looks like he...
Is he one of the Screaming Louie?
Oh, yeah, because he's got a top hat. But he's wearing it unironically. If you've ever seen Jacob Rees-Mogg, if you haven't seen him, I should say, he originally won his seat because he defeated cholera.
What?
Yeah. That's how old he is.
Oh, I see.
He has been destroying waterborne diseases on his farmstead amongst his people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who did he have standing beside him?
The big bean. Yeah. For me, I didn't even look close. It looked from afar like an injury. And I thought, well, good for him. And then I got my glasses. I was like, oh, gee, what are you doing? Like,
I was the same at first. I was like, crikey, is this guy being in a tank fire?
Yeah. Like, he's not letting him hold him back. That's everybody stand up. Yeah, third place, but god damn it.
Nope, it was a normal man in a baked bean themed ski mask. And that's that is baked beans. Baked beans on toast. Heinz baked beans on toast are the actual national dish of Britain.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all Rishi Sunak had to say. Baked beans. Maybe we'll go, normal. What a normal man. Eating normal food.
Yeah.
Not sandwiches. Sandwiches.
Well, did you see the guy, it was in Sunderland, and I called him Lord Muffin Top, just because I thought he was one of these, I thought he was like a joke contestant, but apparently he wasn't. Like, he'd really, it looked like laundry day, because he had like this brown blazer that didn't fit him particularly well.
Right.
And then he had a Sunderland top on too, and I did a tweet about it, and somebody informed me that not only was it like such a bad look, it's not even this year's top.
Right, yeah. Yeah. And in Sunderland, their club is everything they have. So, yeah, if you'd actually invested 70 quid in the latest season, people were going, can't he, mate? Look, he really knows. He knows exactly what we like around here.
And it's not like it didn't accent him well. Like, it had two stripes that really showed off where the pants met the gut.
Where the sausage rolls meet the couch.
Yeah.
Well,
he still got up there. That was the best he could do.
That's how much effort he was putting into it.
Yeah.
But then there's probably the more famous one nowadays is it Count or is it Lord?
It's Count Binface.
Count Binface.
Yeah.
Again, for our overseas viewers and listeners, Count Binface is not an actual member of the aristocracy.
That's not a double-barreled name.
yes, Count Binface. It's actually Fatchy, exactly. Yes. Here's a funny story. My mother remarried a Polish emigre, and as a child I was shoved into a bin. And there, as I ceaseless nights trapped within the bin, I plotted my revenge.
Seething.
Through the democratic means.
Yeah, well, it was sobering for me to see him up on the stage because it's no secret I'm going through a divorce, and he's with a woman now. There's I don't know what her job is, but she's definitely with him.
Oh, I mean, if I was that way inclined, I'd be with him too. Like, he looks high status. I mean, that looks like a really expensive pedal bin he's put on his head.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a high rolling bin face.
But I just have to look at that and go, even he has a woman. Even the guy with the garbage pail on his head is managed to attract a mate of some. I mean, if you look at her, she's into some freaky stuff. There's no question about it. The only reason you couldn't finger her beside a bin is because she used to date him. So, this is awkward. Oh, Charles.
I see your pedals working again. Maybe it always worked.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice that you've become 40 litres now. Not hiding under the sink anymore, I see. Corner bin now, aren't you? So crazy. It's so mental.
Yeah.
And then, of course, so it was the Labour Party won by a landslide.
Oh, yes.
And so let me talk you through how it works, right? So in a British election, so Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, he wins. Everybody has to run in an individual seat. So it's kind of weird for Americans. You can imagine, like, you're running to be the president of the United States, but you've also got to run as a congressman or a congresswoman at the same time. So you're down in stupid level politics and aiming to be big deal politics. So this is how it works. So these are the actual proceeds that you go through in the procession of, yeah. So his party wins most of the seats, which they did by an absolute landslide. Mm-hmm. And then he is invited to the palace to meet the king in a ceremony known as the kissing of the hands.
Really?
Yeah. Which took a lot longer now that the big fat finger kings. It's meant to be only 10 minutes.
Every inch, Starmer, every inch.
It's meant to only take 5 minutes, but, like, you know what I mean? Each finger is the size of a felled redwood that's been left in the purpling sun. Make any sense? So after that, so once he's done the kissing of the hands, then he goes to 10 Downing Street, which is like the White House of British Prime Ministers. And his first act, he's got to write the nuclear letter. Right? Britain has 4 nuclear submarines. And Britain isn't like America or France, doesn't have the nuclear football.
Yeah.
You know, the suitcase that soldier walks around behind the president. Anytime we want to start a nuclear war, it's just there.
Yeah.
I mean, in the case of the president of the United States right now, he has to remember where the fuck he is. He has to be able to get out of a chair, which, as we all know, after 3 PM, can't.
No.
Joe Biden, what a hell of a president.
Bring the football to me.
I remember when it was originally around. Really slow.
Just saying it out a window. Joe, come on, the mic's over here.
They were still using town criers. Where's my big fat town crier? Where's that big fat guy? Oh, God. Oh, God. Maybe we'll save that for another day. Let's deal with one nation's daft politics. Anyway, so he goes into 10 Downing Street and he has to write the nuclear letter.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Turns out it's 4 options. The nuclear letter, he writes it, seals it, and then it's given to the 4 captains of the 4 nuclear submarines. It's locked in a safe in the submarine. Right? If they come up and they don't hear any signal for an allotted amount of time, they're to assume that the enemy attacked the West and the West has all been destroyed. And then it comes down to the captain has 4 options. Right? The options are retaliate.
Okay.
Don't retaliate.
Oh.
Number 3 option is you decide. Which seems insane. Incredible abdication of responsibility. Hey, you know, you work it out.
Yeah.
And the fourth option is sail to Australia and surrender to them.
Surrender to the Australians.
Yeah.
Well, that's not gonna work.
What do you mean?
Like, they're not gonna have left out Australia.
Well, have you been there? You've been there. It's far.
You think that anybody who's gonna level the West would just forget Australia was there?
Well, people do forget Australia's there.
I guess. I mean,
people do.
It's some sort of plan. Maybe I would go to New Zealand. If you're gonna forget somebody's there, you're gonna forget New Zealand's there.
It's true. Well, anyway, that's it. Well, it's quite the insult then to New Zealand. They haven't even put us on an option. Guys, we're still here, thriving. Everybody's living normal lives.
Yeah.
Why can't we have your kill machines, your Megadeth vehicles?
That's why they couldn't go to New Zealand. That's nuclear, is it? No. No.
Have you not seen the badges? We've got a big badge on the way into Auckland.
Yeah.
That's us nuclear free.
Yeah, it's at the end of the world. They're just gonna have a school of nuclear submarines bombing it. They're like, oh please, can you just let us off with those missiles? You won't. No.
Absolutely no way. Terrifying with your giant seaborne metal wing.
So you're saying you want us to fire them? Hold on.
Hey, well, let's have a little think about this. Boys, get your genders on. Everybody meet me at the dairy.
Yeah. Right. We've had a little powwow.
We've had a bit of a sit down with some of the leading rugby coaches in the country.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what happens.
If you fire them in Australia, you're in.
Apparently they're gone. So that's the end of that. Just us playing rugby again, guys. Right, so you win the election.
Yeah.
Then the next thing you do, you kiss the king's hand.
Oh, yeah.
Then the next thing you do, you write your nuclear letter. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
But most importantly, in the British democratic system, the most important thing that the incoming Prime Minister has to do is shake Elmo by the hand publicly.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Gotta shake. As the incoming Prime Minister of Great Britain did, he shook a giant Elmo by the hand.
Yeah.
And then you're it. Then you're Prime Minister.
I mean, it shows that it's, you know, I think we need this steadying time of, you know, he's not going to do anything ridiculous, but he's not going to do anything dumb, and he's not going to hurt himself by going down to the hospital during a pandemic. You know,
oh no, he
set his stall out when he didn't tickle Elmo.
That's right. Yeah, Britain finally has a Prime Minister that will not bow to Elmo's needs.
Yeah, and because he knew, like for all of the last 7, they all would have tickled Elmo for a different reason. Liz Truss up there with just thinking that that's what you do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 2 glasses of Chardonnay and Liz would have been all over an Elmo.
You want to know what she tickled him with.
Poor Elmo. Staggering home.
He doesn't laugh anymore.
No, he doesn't wave anymore. We're starting to think that's the backstory of Oscar the Grouch. He met Liz Truss 20 years ago, and he's been in that bin ever since. That's who Count Pinface is!
It was staring at us.
Finally, all the pieces have fallen into place. Oh well, what a fucking weird election.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and this will give you some idea of where I've been moved to live out my time. After all that, like the last like 4 prime ministers, and it's just been an absolute shit show. British politics for about 5 years now, and it's just gotten weirder and weirder and weirder. And
Isn't it the fourth prime? Is Keir Starmer's the fourth prime minister in 2 years?
yeah,
I mean, honestly, well, look, Britain, where are you getting them from?
Here's my point though. Like even before, like the Conservatives had like 5 prime ministers in a really short amount of time, and they bungled everything, and everything was just a mess. It didn't stop the electorate, the people that live in my riding. The Tories got back in where I live. Like they looked at that body of work and went, let's see what else they got up their sleeve.
I like it. Yeah. These are men of the people. Some of them have big bean heads. Some of them have purple fur. But good people. Solid.
Yeah.
Weird, bitter, twisted, strange people. The people we love in this. Welcome to the village.
Yeah.
If you care to live in reality, there's a city down the road. If you've never been to England, every pretty English village has a whiff of murder mystery about it.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. But none in all those murder mystery shows, they never bring up how justified a lot of those murders would have been. You only meant to get to meet those characters when they're in the park and rolled over by the cops. Going, oh my God, there's been a murder. Somebody get that weird Quebecois guy that lives in the castle to come down. He'll solve it again.
Oh, Colin's dead. Ugh. It was only a matter of time. He had a good innings.
He must have been doing it again. You've been told.
He became active again.
God. Anytime he'd sniff the wind in springtime, it would tend to happen.
Oh no, he's regressed. Good Lord, his comprehensive education starting to show. Right on.
It was too much for the village to accept. The whole village did it.
This man has a regular number of toes on both feet.
Oh, disgusting.
You're an abomination. British politics. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
It's going to be a tough time today down at the job centre. There's going to be like 150 Tory MPs have lost their job.
Some like about 200 of them.
Yeah. So any used Porsche dealership people, get ready. They're coming. Like right now, I reckon you can probably get a Lord Palpatine lookalike for $12. It's just the market is absolutely flooded. Yeah.
Is anybody looking for a man with an incredibly red face?
Yeah.
Who can shout things? He's so great. Next week in Greg's, there he is. His hairnet on. Sausage roll, anyone? No, we don't do the vegan ones, you green potty bastard. Sticky bun! I want nothing! God, I love this, working the tills. It's wonderful. Getting to know the people.
Yeah.
In you come, fatty!
Shaking hands with everybody after the... Yeah, good.
Very well done.
Good.
You've come for your greasy fat, have you, peasant? Fatten you up like a goose for the winter. Jason? Is it Jason? The Lord.
It is now. You're Jason.
Do you have a trade? Do you? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they're out there. So just be ready. They could be in any job that you come up with. Some of them have amazing drug habits. They're going to have to do something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah. Maybe Rishi Sunak's going to end on OnlyFans. That's where he's going to be.
With the tattoo lady. So can you just show me the ropes? Just till I get a little bit of a following.
Just Rishi Sunak just buttering his sandwich with his feet.
And by the way, anybody who signs up for his OnlyFans, you look deep. You look deep into their other...
into his lovely brown eyes.
Yeah.
His limpid brown, weirdly lost eyes.
I'd like a man who looks like a child. Do you have one of those on OnlyFans? Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Totally legal if it's a man, right?
I'm looking for a 45-year-old boy. Do you have one of those of independent means?
Yes, the kind of man who would say something so boyish as to only consume sandwiches.
It's like he finally went bollocks. I'm going to go for the Paddington option. Nobody trusts me on the economy. Nobody trusts me on anything else. But the whole country loves Paddington.
Even Miliband. Or not, is it Miliband, the guy with the sandwich?
Yeah.
Even he was good.
Yeah.
Don't bring up sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm on the other team, and I feel the need to call you on this.
Yes, that was a guy that lost an election 15 years ago because he failed to eat a sandwich correctly.
Yeah. And he wasn't like, he didn't go down to a photo place. They just snapped a picture of him eating a sandwich at a weird time, and he does have problems in that he looks a bit like a bug wearing a human suit. Anyway. But yeah, so it was no surprise he couldn't eat a sandwich without looking weird. He looks weird in the first place.
Yeah.
But
nevertheless, that was the fine margins that lost him an election.
Yeah.
It was none of his economic policy. He couldn't eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
There you go. That is how Britain elects people. It's a weird way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nevertheless, viva democracy.
Yeah, we're leaving democracy. What? I don't speak French.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Now then, are you ready for our next story?
Okay.
Oh, this is an absolute beaut. So, there's an American TikToker lady who goes by the name of Liz Wisdom.
Oh.
That's her handle.
Right.
And she put up this week a post of her sat in the back of a car, really happy. She's so happy in rural Ireland. She put up a post of she's in the back of a car, like looking wistfully out the window. She goes, guys, I've just stuck here in this traffic jam in the middle of this really cute Irish parade. And instantly all of Irish and Scottish TikTok went, that's an orange parade.
The oranges must be in season, and this is how they celebrate it.
I've been to Valencia.
Yes.
That's how they do it in Valencia. The oranges of Donegal must be in season. I think you'll find that's a turnip that's been painted orange. Yeah. The orange parade. There's just thousands of orange men in bowler hats and sashes marching by her window, and she's like, "Oh,
yeah.
Hi guys." The whole time she's got an Irish flag tricolour friendship bracelet on up to her mouth, going, "Guys, it's so nice."
You wanna get one of those colors right to the front. You wanna get that orange right there.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
That's it. Get it nice and orange on the top. And I'd suggest eating the rest of it.
Yeah.
Just eat it. Eat the rest of it. Because we don't want Fenians or peace. So get rid of the green and wait. Actually, it's an even crazier story. It's a weirder story. And it's something that most people don't know, even in Ireland, that the biggest orange parade in the whole of Ireland isn't in Northern Ireland. It's in the Republic. She was in Donegal. It's in a place called Rosnarla. It's one of those names that you can't pronounce without an Ulster. Rosnarla. It just sounds weird. It's Rosnarla.
Yeah.
And it's in Donegal. And it's the biggest orange parade in Ireland, in the whole of Ireland, and it's in the Republic. And it's on Rosnarla Strand. There's 10,000 of them, and they're marching up and down a beach. Nobody gives a shit, because it's a beach. They're not bothering. The contentious orange parades in Northern Ireland. The reason why they are is they march through Catholic neighbourhoods, right? And that's what creates a lot of tension. But I guess there's never any bother at the Rosnarla parade every year because there isn't like Fenian mermaids coming out of the sea, just banging their tails on the sand. Get out of our beach.
Well, I mean, I can see why she's like, because if you don't know the backstory, they do just look a bit like droogs with orange little sashes on.
Yeah, but no, she's coming from a country where they have Shriner parades.
Oh yeah,
where you've got thousands of men in fezzes riding around in tiny cars. I mean,
the
for parades.
flute is not. It's not an aggressive instrument.
You'd be surprised how few wishes it's granted them, though. There's slightly less of us. Every year, slightly less of us. But she then, the Irish and Scottish TikTok just swamped this poor woman who thought she was just doing something nice. Guys, I'm in Ireland. What a special place, right? That was her. That's what I love about her. Her energy is just so American and happy. Right? And there's bum 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 bum, and as old and beautiful. Yeah, guys,
lovely. This would be great content.
I used to be a cheerleader.
Yeah,
guys. Guys, if you need sectarian cheerleading. But that's the thing, like people that, look at orange parades and go, they're bigots, look how aggressive they are. I don't think they can be complete and utter bigots when at the front of every orange parade, there's just a man with a little baton just scampering around. Like,
they really have one of them.
Yeah, there's a little fruity dancer at the front of everyone. Like a little sexy majorette.
They should lead with him.
They do.
I didn't. Well, yeah, I guess they do, but I've never seen him. I've never attended one of the parades. I'll be honest with you. They never caught my it's like running with the bulls. You got to do it once. You got to be there once.
No, you get stuck behind them, right? This is genuinely true. So a couple of years ago, let's say it's 10 years ago, I can't even remember, I actually did some tourism campaigns for Northern Ireland. I've worked with tourism all across Ireland, which has been an absolute delight every time. But looking at when we went to do the leg that was going to take in the north of Ireland, going to Giant's Causeway, the Titanic, the Dark Arches, where Game of Thrones, which was all filmed in Northern Ireland, doing all that tourism-y stuff.
Right.
Although a lot of my family are from the north, I thought I should kind of brush up on this, make sure I'm on speed. And there was this is so great. Northern Ireland is really proud of it has a really famous, it's one of those great car drives, coastal drives around the Antrim coast, right? So they're very proud, and they're really into motorsport up north. So when they're selling tourism, this was some tourism bump, I should say, that was written for the New York Northern Ireland Tourism Office. Right, this is how official This is how they were selling Northern Ireland to Americans, right? Under the motoring holiday section, right? It just said, because they obviously have to mention. So at this time of year, across Northern Ireland, there's like, I don't know, 10,000 orange parades. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head, right? There's all sorts of, right? Yeah. And it said, and I quote, right, sometimes in the summer months, in the driving holiday section, it went, sometimes in the summer months, you may get stuck in a traffic jam. You may have to pull over for a period of time to let the music makers pass. So great.
It's not all they make.
Well, I want you to sell Orange Men, but I also want you to eat that entire bag of mushrooms. The music makers. I'd so love to see some American hippies just following behind, just banging tambourines. Your vibration is amazing, Nigel. I love your red face.
Is that paint?
I think I find it's a lot of harp. It's harp just sweating out of me. Hey boys, that's it. It's time to rebrand.
Yeah.
It's a different world now. It's a different world. From now on, we're going to be called the Music Makers. Who could be scared of the Music Makers?
Yeah.
Set up your barricades. Here comes the music. Oh, so fantastic. So at the end of it, how it all... So she had to put up another post. Right?
Yeah.
From the reaction to it. She goes, guys, I had no idea. I thought it was just a fun parade. We got a lot of parades in America. I thought it was just a fun parade. And it turns out it's super divisive. Right? She goes... And somebody pointed out I had my friendship bracelet because I'd already been in Dublin for the Taylor Swift era tour, and that turned out to be super divisive as well. Because it turns out there'd been a massive... I was in Dublin last week, right? Staying just around the corner from the stadium where Taylor Swift was on for 3 nights. I was staying in the hotel. It was rammed with Yanks. There was a massive backlash from Irish Swifties and their daughters going like, these are the 3 nights she's coming to our country.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you here? And there were loads of American Swifties had flown in and outpriced the Irish Swifties. And if there is a contentious ethnic religious divide that I do not want to get involved in, I've been taking the piss out of both sides in the divide in Northern Ireland for 30 years. There's no fucking way on earth I'd be getting in between a Swiftie fight.
No, they're all equally crazy. Yeah.
Crazy about the greatest musician alive.
Oh, it is wonderful. I can't get enough.
Can't get enough of all those hits of hers.
Yeah.
Like?
Here Comes the Swifts. Swifting by the pool.
Hey, I'm Taylor. My name's Taylor Swift. I'm quite tall. Ba-dum. Great stuff. Great stuff.
I believe. Well, isn't she? She's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. I haven't been reading the stories that closely, but I believe she won the Super Bowl last year.
She's won 2 back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah,
she's a hell of a player.
Yeah, she's good.
I can't believe it. It's so fantastic.
I like it because like we kid, but I don't know any of her songs. But I like that I've grown into my attitude of like I really like, who the hell is this? Well, okay, have your fun then. I don't know any of this shit.
I don't know what the hell. I gave up on modern music when Kajagoogoo went to #1. What kind of name is that?
Yeah, sounds like you're calling chickens to feed them.
Nobody sings to chickens. Well, there you go. And on that strange note, the end of a strange story.
Why not?
And why not? So, Mr. Glenn, do you have a story for me?
I do. It's the Eejits of Tourism.
Oh, is it what sort of Egypts are we talking about here?
We're talking about a bunch of people on a boat in Greece. Yachtsmen.
Yachtsmen.
Yachts.
Are they American yachtsmen?
You know what? I don't know. I just know they were on a yacht.
Let's assume they're from the Global Brotherhood of the Prick.
They were dumb enough to be shooting off fireworks in Greece, so I'm guessing they weren't Greeks.
Right. Okay. Yep. They're plate smashing people.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
A smashed bit of crockery can't set fire to a woodland.
You gotta throw that pretty hard.
Well, I'll give it a go.
And one of them shot into the night and hit the shoreline on the Isle of Hydra, and almost immediately just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I guess the wind that had taken that firework offline also picked up whatever it caused to burst into flames, and now it's just raging across the Isle of Hydra, and I think it jumped and it's now in Greece. I'm just worried that it's going to wake up the Hydra.
They were in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greece in the summer is dry.
Yeah.
It's a dry place. You would have had less trouble taking a blowtorch to the contents of a shredder bin. Like, paper dust wouldn't burn as well as Greece. Oh, the locals must have been delighted with those rich fucks on the yacht.
Everyone got arrested though, which is
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I couldn't get word of who they were on the yacht, but even all of the rich people got arrested, because usually it's like the crew of the yacht has been arrested, and you're like, yeah, but who was that? Yeah, but it was the crew. They did it all.
Yes. Can I slip you a couple of fins to?
Yeah.
Hey, Stavros, can you be cool about this?
Yeah, quite often the yachts have extra people that just pose as the crew every time.
Yeah.
You gotta arrest somebody. Okay, get them.
Get up here! It's either you do time or Duke University's lacrosse captain. Oh, man.
Yeah, some poor Sudanese guy. Yes, it was my firework.
It was me celebrating the 4th of July. Yes, I cannot tell you how delighted I am that my country expelled the evil George III and his Hessian guards. You know, tourism, yes. In a weird one, in Barcelona, they're fighting back against tourists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, apparently they don't like them anymore. There's something like 12 million tourists come to Barcelona every year, and there's only 1.5 million people in Barcelona. And they've said they've had enough. They've said they've had enough of all that money them tourists are bringing to them. They said they're blaming tourists for running out of water.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently them tourists coming to Barcelona, all sucking up all that delicious water, treating themselves.
It is something that, I've done that before too. It's like the whole city is under rations. I'm like, there's no way to check. I'm in the hotel. I don't know these people.
Classic tourist. Well, this is what they've done in Barcelona, and there's an anti-tourism protest. They're going
like an anti-tourism board.
Let me tell you about the shit things of Barcelona. Oh, I could do that. It's overpriced. Catalans are a bunch of stuck-up pricks. There's tons of pickpockets.
Yeah.
The streets are filthy. Go to Seville.
Yeah.
Go to Valencia. They're nice people. Yeah, there's the Catalan protesters. These, there's terraces of tourists.
Yeah.
Terrace, sitting outside having their evening meals, and these anti-tourism protesters go along just spraying them with water pistols.
Well, hold on
go
a second.
home.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help anything. We don't have any water. Well, why are you wasting it then? You should be spitting dust at us with a fan or something.
Well, you may be throwing sand in our eyes.
Yeah, something that doesn't require...
Oh, you should see these pair of pricks, though. They're the ones... There's two of the... you know what I mean? Clearly, these... You know what I mean? If they were in England, they'd be throwing baked bean juice at a masterpiece in a museum.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
It's all over the world. Finally, the upper class children of rich people have decided to fight back.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Instead of just waiting to inherit the empire.
Yeah, or telling their parents how to behave.
No,
Yeah.
no.
We'll tell all of you how to behave, and then you tell our parents, and then we'll do it. Couldn't you just have done this over the dinner table? Why do we have to be privy to it?
Yeah, couldn't you just wrap the 9-arm around his head? Why are you stopping me in traffic?
Why don't you glue yourself to his shower?
But they're just spraying water at people. Go home. Go home. The tourists.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they taped people into their hotels. Put up, crime scene tape. People couldn't get out of their hotels.
Wow.
Yeah, your tourism is a crime.
What are those newlyweds gonna do in that hotel room? Gonna get pretty bored after about 3 weeks.
Without any water. I don't know, you've spent a month in a hotel room with a dry bride. They need moisture.
Sadly, yes.
The betrothed need moisture. So crazy. So nuts. It's not the tourist's fault. Clearly, elect people that will change whatever zoning laws make you happy.
Sure.
Not wait till somebody's tucking into their, whatever the national dish of Catalan is. Well, I think that's Southerners, but I'm sure they'd eat it too.
Oh, there's paella.
Yes, paella. Paella.
See, I think what they've got to do, just on a personal level, if you want people to stop coming to Barcelona, you got to change your garbage truck drivers. And this is just a purely, this is a purely personal story. But I was walking down Las Ramblas once.
The main street in Barcelona?
Yeah, and I knew I had to, I didn't know exactly where my hotel room was, but I knew it was go to the water on Las Ramblas and turn right. And it was a big enough building that I knew what it would be.
Right.
I'd had a few cocktails by this point, but this was my plan.
Yes.
It was Saturday night in Barcelona. Hey, just go get amongst it. And there was 2 garbage men in the truck, in their full garb and everything. And they had this giant chunk of hash. And they were rolling the biggest spliff. As you'd expect, these guys got to pick up garbage on a Saturday night. If you want to get high and do that, I have no problem with it, and I see no problem with people working under those conditions. They're not police officers. They don't have to, they don't have to arrest the garbage. They just have to identify what is and isn't garbage, and I'm sure you could do that high. But I clocked them. And they both looked at me as if they thought that they'd been down enough of a side street to be getting away with this, to roll it up.
Presumably super blending in their high vis.
Yeah, I
their
think
bright
they were
yellow
probably high when they came up with the idea. I don't think this was the first time either of these gentlemen had participated in marijuana.
Bin collecting marijuana.
Yeah, and although I don't smoke it very often, I just saw the opportunity. And if I do smoke it, it quite often is hash. I've had good experiences with that more than I've had bad. And I just looked at the 2 guys and I gave myself a double thumb point. And they both looked at each other and they were like, mm-hmm. And I jumped up into the like holding on to the like a seal, how a seal would have gotten into this garbage truck. I'm just holding on, and I stuck my head in there, and the dude took this giant chunk of hash and just like fired up the lighter, and it went like that, and I went like that. Like sort of let go from the thing and gave him the double thumbs up, and they gave me the double thumbs up, and so I just hit Los Ramblas with a massive hash high, just shaking along to the music. So the protesters of Barcelona, before you squirt any of the tourists with a goddamn squirt gun, you gotta find those garbage men, because I go back to Barcelona now for less money than I go for other places, because I absolutely love that town.
There you go. There's where your water went.
I drank it.
He drank it on you.
After a long, hashy shower, I drank all the water.
Yeah, well, it's nice to know that, like, there's...
Yeah.
You can look at a city on a map and go, there's two really cool bin men there.
Yeah. Oh, they free pour too. Like if you order a whiskey and Coke, you have to stop. That's the only time I've ever stopped a bartender, because he was just gonna fill it all with whiskey. It's like, well, wait, I won't be able to fit anything in there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If the barman's got you drunk and the bin men have got you high, who cares if some posh chicks are squirting you with water?
Yeah, I probably didn't even realize that's what was happening. You girls quit pissing on me. Don't stop.
Your ladies seem pretty friendly. Go home!
Yeah, I would just take a bigger squirt gun with them. It's with me.
A proper one.
A water fight.
Yeah, making it all fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I don't think that's how you stop tourists.
No.
You're going to have to go back to how your city was before you had the Olympics.
Yeah.
Before Freddie Mercury sang a song about you, making you famous. Barcelona.
Yes, you are. I didn't know.
All right, well, thank you very much, all the Eejits of the world.
All of you.
Thank you for taking part. I know you didn't know that you were going to take part, and yet, here we are.
Some of you must have thought.
You must have known as you stood beside a man with a baked bean for a head that we were going to mention you on the Eejits of the world. As you shook the hands of Elmo.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will be performing. We're going to be taking some. We're doing some live shows. Are we not, Mr. Glenn?
We're at the Dead Meat Festival on July 27th up in Manchester.
Yes, indeed. And we will also be performing Eejits of the World at the Cheerful Earful Comedy Podcast Festival on the 20th of October in London.
London town.
In London town. So come along. Join us for that sort of carry on.
Yeah, we've put it in 2 different places, so you got no excuse.
Yeah.
Unless you live exactly equidistance between the 2 and you can't decide.
Oh, broken-hearted in Nuneaton. Well, it's been a pod.
That's the worst porno I've ever rented in my life.
God damn it. So many sausages. So many sausages. So many long walks in the rain. Get to the shagging, damn you!
Just 2 disgraced Tory MPs.
Not disgraced at the time. Very much standing MPs. Anyway, that's Glenn Wool.
That's Andrew Maxwell.
And this has been
a
Pod People Production.